Okay, at 7 o'clock rising time, this is the town board meeting for April 25th. We have no public hearings tonight. Call the meeting to order, and Ronnie Brand, would you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Be honored. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ron. Any privilege of the floor or public concerns at this time? Anybody online? Privilege of the floor or public concerns? All right, well, that's again at the end of the meeting. Public Works.
Okay, Public Works met this morning, their usual time. We got our updates from water and sewer and highway and parks. I'll start with water and sewer. The ongoing work on digestion one is still going on. Ontario Tap to be there next week to start that project. We had some parts coming for the UV equipment. Some of them went to like the wrong Farmington. We'll get them eventually. They're still doing some removal of spoils at the plant. The upgrades installation is going to start this week. For the sludge pump timer control, we discussed the aerator replacement. We got the quotes there, also got some quotes for the elk press. On general comments, water main project on 332 and 96. It's all done except for some minor cleanup and dressing up there. They did some hydrant replacements on County Road 8 north of the thruway. They had the flow meter out and manhole 1627 and it's going to get moved to a site in Victor, I think I remember. They got some smoke testing going on in Joe Haven. That has had mailers go out, and that should start the first week of May. The software mitigation from VAS and Multilink is going well. We did some testing on that, and it seems to be up and ready to get running here by May 24th. PS7 is in service. They just have some paving and landscape. They had a gas line they had to hook up that was supposed to be done today. Yeah. You're right. Town Line Road Water Main project now is completed. The last of the service work has been done. They just got some grading and getting filling to get ready for the last of the sidewalk installation. That's pretty much it for them. For now, the rest of this is on file. They got a couple resolutions. We can talk about them when we come up. Highway and parks, they had ongoing equipment maintenance. The GPSs have all been now installed in all the vehicles, except for they got 4 or 5, I guess, that aren't receiving to the computer. Get that straightened out. They did some ditching on Beaver Creek and Yellow Mills Road. They got put up a welcome sign up this week, and they replaced the pipe in Wizard Way. And he went to Vikings Hives in Harrisville to check out the pre-build on the new truck. Also for the Cornell program where they do road inspections, we talked about an intern that's going to be coming in and do that. We do that every so many years to grade the highways on our so we can plan for the future, the next 5 years. And as far as parks, we got ongoing maintenance. They did some work on the ball fields, they've been out pruning trees in all the parks. The Mercentia Park playground is now finished. They took down 2 trees in Farmington Grove, and obviously we started mowing this week. And they put some doors in Farmer Park, and they have just 1 resolution.
Thanks, Ron. On operations.
This morning, we have 2 resolutions we can talk about later. The town agricultural Advisory Committee will be meeting June 15th. And will complete their input on the proposed amendments to chapter 9 of the town code. Listed boards, committees and commissions. The Town Conservation Board completed their adopted highway project along State Route 332. Outside on the bulletin board, you can see the pictures of the Conservation Board members and the town residents who participated. And the only other thing is that we have invitations mailed to the property owners located on the sub areas where new sidewalks, trail connections, and pedestrian bridges being designed as part of the town's transportation alternative grant. There'll be an informational meeting on May 4th here at Town Hall at 6:30 p.m. It'll also be available online. Dan will give us a report, building, everything else is on file.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, approval of the minutes for the April 11th board meeting. My name,
Second.
my Ron, comments, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Reports to town officials, supervisor, bear with me. Ontario County had a organic waste recycling event. It's scheduled for May 20th. And it's at the town highway garage. The registration is now open. And a phone number on their flyer, or you can go to OntarioCountyRecycles.org until May 18th. Maybe that'll take some of the electronic waste away from our May 4, 5, and 6 cleanup. You might wait till later. It's hard to say. County Board of Elections, Tuesday, June 27th will be a primary wide, countywide, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Election day for early voting, and also for early voting starts June 17th, prior to the June 27th primary election day. There's 2 positions countywide, Democrat Party for county clerk and Republican Party for the county coroner. On the town side, just a reminder, May 4th, 5th, and 6th is our town cleanup event at Hook Road. 205?
420.
420. Hook Road. Should know that. Last Thursday, I attended a county-sponsored DOT supervisors training meeting covering drug recognition, alcohol recognition, and then a refresher course on federal requirements for CDL drivers. How employers assist with the national database information and what happens when a CDL driver refuses to take a drug test. All very good information. The Farmington Ambulance is offering our employees a chance to take CPR training. We have over 30 employees already signed up for that. We have obtained from Ontario County 20 backyard chemicals kits. We will get the word out by social media and our website to collect names of interested residents. And then we'll hold a drawing based on the number of names we receive. This will give the town board the level of confidence and how or how much we should participate in our 2024 budget. Ontario County's recent offer filled up very fast, and they will most likely continue their program in 2024. And just as a reminder, we looked it up today, and in 2018, we did 38 kits to residents here in the town of Farmington. The way the county ran it was people signed up, and out of the $100 approximate cost of the compost kit, the residents would pay $25. They also had an option if they sat through Russ Welser's hour-long course from Ontario County Soil and Water Condition, they waived a $25 fee. Went to school with Russ up in the North Country, and I'm sure he does a good job at how the proper way to use compost and what to put it in and what not to put it in. So we'll definitely consider the same thing here. The last of the 2023 assessments will move the mail this Friday. Our residents can call the assessor office for an informal review anytime in the next 2 weeks. We have posted on the town website, the assessor tab. Sales by type of homes, July 1st, 2020 through July 1st, 2022, for residents to review those sales. And again, it's by type. Our next meeting here is Tuesday, May 9th. We do expect the Victor Central School Superintendent, Tim Terranova, to give us a 15-minute presentation on the Victor School budget. That's all I have at this time, except I'll show you a picture of the Chamber Finger Lake Skating Racing Farmington project for 4 large signs, 2 on 96, 2 on 332. The highway department put up the first one on 96. You're coming out of Victor to town. And as time permits, we'll get the other 3 up. Look, they look nice, very nice. Ports of other town officials, highway and parks.
Up to add on to the welcome sign, we got the other one up on 96 Manchester on today. So that's number 2, and maybe by the end of the week, we'll have the one on 332 up. And then we have to find a spot for the 4th one.
Yeah.
Which. One thing I did want to report was was able to get all of my salt in. So we reached the 70%. I don't have to pay for storage. I fit in the barn, and actually there's a room left, so.
Good.
I got a text today from the salesman from Viking Savaz, and he said that our F550 that we ordered in 2021 for the 2022 year, he heard that it's up at Viking Savaz now up in Harrisville.
After you just came back from.
After I just came back, yeah. I asked him if it was there, and he said, no, I don't think so, and a week later it shows up. So he says he's not 100% sure, but he heard it's there, so probably is.
Yeah.
And so the only other thing was the sign that was up.
Very good.
All I got.
The Farmington Chamber will be happy to see a second one. We have Sarah representing Michelle. It's on the clerk's office. Do you have anything tonight?
Nothing further.
Nothing. All right, water and sewer. Thank you.
Is board member Herendeen mentioned we had a part from our Trojan UV system delivered to Farmington, Connecticut again. Well, it finally showed up today. So but we're gonna get that hooked back together. And I'd also like to say that we're going to shortly have 2 new members at Water and Wastewater. One of our labor interviews accepted, and we also have a very good candidate for an intern to work on our lead service line inventory. So that's what I have today.
Great, thank you. Now, remember to comment a little bit more on that at the end. Building and zoning.
Yes, quick update before our next meeting on May 9th. More AV equipment upgrades are going to be happening in this room here, so we should have mics over the middle here so that we can hear people in the audience out on Zoom land. Also, the Dollar General, everything is moving forward and building permits have been issued, so you might be seeing some activity out there. So that's just a real brief of what's going on.
Great, thanks. Ed, planning board.
Certainly, we have coming up on the next meeting, on the 3rd of May. I'm sorry, I just couldn't find it on there. We have special use permit for Coretta for some excavating business up on State Street in Georgeville. We have a preliminary and a final same night for a rebuild of a house on Herendeen Road. And then we have the final site plan on the warehouse project over back behind the park and ride over there. The warehouse is over there. That's pretty much it for the next meeting.
All right, thanks. Ron, Director of Planning and Development.
Okay, first, the ongoing work with the updates to chapter 9 on the boards, committees and commission is continuing. Just like to talk a little bit about the May 4th public information meeting. It's important that this meeting reach out to as many of the property owners along the various sub areas that are being planned for improvements with sidewalks, the Stone Dust Trail connection to the Auburn Trail, and also the pedestrian bridge crossing over Beaver Creek. We'll explain the project timeline that is involved and when construction is likely to start. And then the other thing is meeting Thursday morning this week with county planning staff to work on a scope for the intermunicipal drainage study that's identified in the Ontario County Hazard Mitigation Plan as a priority action project. And finally, last but not least, this scoop just in. Zoe's Ice Cream Shop opens next Monday, May 1st.
And that's the latest scoop.
That's the latest scoop.
Or the earliest.
Town engineer, Bill.
Yep, a few things. We are gonna be bidding North Road Water Main this Thursday, 4/27. We'll be opening bids that day, so fingers crossed on that project. 10 o'clock, yep. We're working on the Town Park Pavilion, and that will be out to bid on the 12th of May. Bid opening scheduled right now for June 1st, so. County Road 8 water main under design. We will be soon having a pre-con for the Klein Brownsville Road intersection improvements. So we've got everything kind of lining up for that project to start construction. And we've reinitiated the Brickyard Road water tank project. So there'll be some resolutions coming for the borrowing authorization on that from the attorney and from bond counsel coming up, hopefully the next few meetings, so.
And on that, the Brickyard Road tank, we did apply through Congresswoman Tanny's office for an additional federal funding. Around 3 million.
Yep.
On 3 million, and we were notified that we were successful in being the top 15 out of 100 applicants that she is forwarding to Congress or the Appropriations Committee. So we're one step closer to maybe getting some additional money for the Brickyard Road tank project. I already mentioned about Thanksville.
Yep.
I already mentioned the assessor will have all the
assessor's online if you would like her to report.
I don't know. Paula, do you have a speaker capability? Nina. But I already mentioned that all the new revals will be out by Friday, and they are open this week in the next 2 weeks for informal reviews with the residents. I don't have anything with recreation. That's sign up is coming up in May for summer rec. And also ag side of the house. Hal, you have anything?
Yeah, quickly, we met last Thursday, welcome 2 or 3 new members. We spent quite a bit of time reviewing a new draft of the local law that establishes and sets out the duties and responsibilities of the ag committee. To rewrite, the intent remains the same as it was originally. But the description of duties is more specific, and I would say the review aspect of the committee is somewhat enhanced in this version. It includes advising this board and other committees on matters affecting farm viability, we continue to promote, long-term prospects for farming in the town. We will be, monitoring, the establishment, modification, continuation, and termination, so we're in here, of ag districts, which is one of our responsibilities. Tasked with reviewing ag data statements that are issued from ag and markets from the state. We're going to administer the applicable sections of the right to farm law, which I think we will also revisit this year. Specifically, I think that refers to conflict resolution, which has not been a big function in the past, but this will be included. We will be maintaining the farmland protection plan, which is part of the town comprehensive plan. And we are tasked with conducting studies, surveys, and inventories of land use in the town with regards to agriculture. And are supposed to provide an annual report, which hasn't really happened, which we're getting installments.
Right.
So we discussed all those things. We are now getting some feedback as the committee members review at home. There were some proposed changes already, one of which would be to reduce the term length of that committee from 5 years to 3. There seems to be general agreement that maybe that's a good idea. It's also been suggested that we have an attendance provision that would give the county board the freedom to release someone if they did not participate. The details of that are not worked out, and I would certainly solicit any input from you folks in that. The other comment that's coming back is with regards to if we're going to be doing reporting, there's some concern that we lack the resources to do that. And so perhaps we need a little more cooperation or coordination with departments in the town to formulate a land inventory and so on. The other item that we took up is the committee is recommending the endorsement of the Hickory Lane Farmland Protection Grant application. The acreage involved there is somewhat reduced from what the county endorsed. Hopefully that matter has been worked out by now. So given what's at the meeting, we kind of affirmed that the numbers slightly reduced. So the committee does recommend this. And we will not meet next month. Next meeting for us will be June 15th.
June 15th.
Good questions.
Yeah, currently, I think your board members are with 4-year and 5-year cycles, so. I don't think that.
Well, they were the 5.
4 and 5.
I think it's just 5, but they were staggered at the beginning in the initial law. There was 4s. Well,
Yeah. So anyways.
yeah, whatever.
We can figure it out to go to a 3-year cycle. And you got 9 members, so you go 3, 3, and 3.
It works pretty slick that way. Yes.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Right. Thanks very much. Communications are on file. Reports and minutes are on file. Resolution. First resolution will be scheduling the town board meeting from Tuesday, June 27th to Wednesday, June 28th, due to the primary election. Second. Motion by Mike, second by Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Here's a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign a service order with First Light for internet upgrade for the water and sewer department that costs not to exceed $550.60 a month.
Second.
Motion by Ron, second by Nate. So it's really only a $75 a month increase, and they go from 100 by 100 to 200 by 200 on the internet service, and the contract over 36 months. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution 3, accepting the final 2022 audit reports from Mendelman Sabar and Company for the town of Farmington and the County with Farmington Water Fund. So moved. Second. Motion second. Again, this, we still have the courts and the town clerk's audit to come. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Where's the resolution waiving the Pumpkin Pavilion reservation fee for the Farmington Victor Kiwanis Club? It's a law enforcement recognition picnic on July 19th. So, sorry. Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Five is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment transferring money from contingent to unemployment insurance in the amount of $4,000.
Moved.
Which my name, second by Steve. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Resolution accepting 2 sidewalk and access easements for the property owners located along the north side of State Route 96 west of Winchester Road. This will enable the construction of the future sidewalk that we talked about, the TAP grant, with the meeting coming up here in May.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Nate, second by Mike. Any questions on this? It'll be the last easements, right?
We hope so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 7 is a resolution to recall and amend resolution 44 of 2023 approving the town of Farmington fee schedule for 2023. So second. Motion by Steve, second by Mike. So all it is 2 changes. The rate for the village and town of Manchester wholesale rate went down 3 cents a thousand. And then as we had talked in previous town board meetings, we added the quarterly meter fee in to the schedule. So starting next quarter, the residential fee will be $9 a quarter, $36 a year, or the commercial meters will be $45 a quarter and $180 a year. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. 8 is a resolution of support for the Genesee Land Trust application to the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets around 19 farmland protection implementation grant for Hickory Lane Realty LLC lands. So
Second.
motion by Ron, second by Mike. Again, this is what was discussed earlier. It's a little over 300 acres. You have a copy of the agricultural advisory committees support go along with our resolution. That goes to the Genesee Land Trust for the whole application process. And the reason in Ontario County, they started out with 1,000 acres. Genesee Land Trust only has so many dollars for these improvements and protection of land. So they're taking a couple other applications north of the thruway here, north of the Canandaigua area, and including Hector Farms owned by the Payne family, for a little over 300 acres. Now,
Just to flesh that out, it's really Ag and Markets that has the money, and they are allocating the funds for this over the 12 economic development areas around the state at about 5 million per area. So, yeah, I think they are
it only goes up.
dividing the spoils, exactly.
Thank you. Questions? All in favor? Aye. 9 is a resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign amendment 1 to the water engineer agreement for Brickyard Road water tank and transmission main project. That costs not to exceed $52,000. This takes a roll call vote with signature.
So moved.
Second.
Any comments or questions? This has been shared also with the town of Canada a couple months ago when we had a meeting with that. Roll call vote, please. That's you. And Sarah, that's when you call each of us individually.
Oh. Nate.
Aye.
Ron,
Aye.
Pete,
Aye.
Mike, Steve.
Aye. There we go. All right, now ask the ground for signature.
Oh, really put you on the spot.
Give it a second. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. And resolution 10, the resolution authorizing advertising of bids for the Farmington Town Park Pavilion. So move second. Motion by Steve, second by Mike. We've already took down the pavilion and now let's buy a new one and have it put up by comes the end of the late fall time frame by the time it gets delivered. All in favor? Aye. 11 is a resolution authorizing the electric upgrade at pump station 25 at a cost not to exceed $11,195.61. So second. Motion by Ron, second by Steve. We pay this bill and then the town of Victor will reimburse us for that amount. All in favor? Aye. That was a resolution declaring equipment on the Highway Parks Department as surplus, so it can be disposed of appropriately.
So
Second. My Nate, second by Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
13 is a resolution authorizing equipment replacement of 7 cooling fans for the VFDs and cost not to exceed $3,821.48 in wastewater treatment. So moved second. Motion by Steve, second by Mike. For the questions. All in favor?
Aye.
14 is an abstract number 8, 2023 to pay the bills. General fund, $243,786.88. Highway fund, $59,636.25. Beaver Creek Park, $446.02. Sidewalk capital project, $360. North Road capital project, $350. Town park improvements, $5,715. Storm drainage, $4,017.58. Fire protection district, $212,642.67. Lighting district, $1,783.69. Sewer district, $77,286.55. Water district, $44,584.17. Payroll deductions, $8,495.80. For total abstract, $659,104.61. Can I have a motion, please? Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Any comments, questions, abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we do have training there for the games. May 9th. We do have an executive session. We'll do at the end of the meeting here. For medical, financial credit, and employment history of the person, corporation matters, movement, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of person or corporation. And I said, we'll do that at the end of the meeting. Any objections? We have one resolution waiver of the rule. Hearing none. This is a resolution to declare various furniture, the water and sewer department as surplus, so may dispose of it appropriately.
I'll move.
Motion by Nate, second by Mike. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it was brought up earlier that we wanted to, about interns and new hires. So I just wanted to, in the public record, we're working on. We have labor that's going to start in the water and sewer department. And also the water and sewer, we had a intern that's going to work with our lead copper project from Oak Community College. We're also trying to lock up a intern from Fairways Community College to work with the highway department on Cornell Roads Improvement Program. We try to do that every 4 years. It's a 5-year plan. And we missed last year with the changes in highway superintendent and everything, so. We'll probably get these people on board before our next meetings, and we'll have confirming resolutions at that time. I want to at least bring it out. The 2 interns are part of the seasonal help that we budget for in highway and water and sewer. Any questions on that? Next thing I want to talk about is the Powers and Center zoning project. We did receive last Thursday from BME engineers a letter from the developer, and basically saying that they would agree to a deeper rear setback. They originally were requesting 10, and they would make that 30 feet setback. And they also agreed that instead of 10 foot on either side, like Hickory Rise and a couple other locations, the side setbacks will be a combination of 25 feet, like that, 10 on one side and 15 on another. I ran it by the town board over the weekend, contacting each of them individually. We talked about it this morning again, in public works and conservation. The board still didn't want 70-foot wide lots as far as part of this project. I asked them if they wanted 75 feet wide, would they go for that? They had suggested 80-foot wide project lots. And so between the 2 committees, the conversation was to reach out to them and find out how many lots they will lose if they went to 80 feet. So I called the developer around 10:30 in the morning. Told them that the project's not going to pass at 70-foot wide lots. They want us to know how many lots you lose if you go to an 80-foot wide lot. So around 3:30, he called me back and said it probably would go from 216 lots to 185. So it'd be approximately 31 lots. He says, don't hold me to it because the engineers have to redraw the project. So it could be 31 lots he needs in this town, or it could be 29, or it could be 35. I said, okay, I understand. I'll reach back to the town board. So at that point, he said, well, they're not going to go back and now want 90-foot lots if I agree to this. And I said, no, I don't think the town board will want to do that. And so I did contact 3 of the 4 members up here this afternoon that he was okay with 30-foot rear setback, 25-foot side setbacks, and doing 80-foot lot width. So the town board's kind of agreed we could work with that, correct? Any comments?
No, I think it's unreasonable, kind of, agree on both sides.
So the next thing was the dollar amounts, because you remember, they were offering us almost 400,000 for our future sidewalk project and 150,000 for 2 different sewer projects. So he's like, I don't want to throw something out there that the town's not agreeable to. In the original letter, the total dollar amount that he offered as part of the incentive zoning, divided by 216 lots, was 245,445 per lot. So he basically said to me, all right, if I got 185 lots now versus 216. I'll still give the town that dollar amount per lot. And that sounded good to me. So if the town board goes with that, we're not gonna make a decision tonight, but we'll review the environmental record again between now and next meeting. And have them send us a letter with that updated proposal for the record. And we could possibly approve it at the next meeting. And send some. The commercial property out front, we did talk about. Pardon?
I'm saying that we have to redo a new.
You would,
Go ahead, Ron.
I think you would have to do a public hearing.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, but the environmental site might not change.
The environmental, yeah, I'm sorry,
That's probably not gonna change.
we'll look at it. I don't think so.
And lost my train.
Sorry.
The commercial up front in 96, we did discuss. With the developer about maybe putting houses out there. But learning that the big piece of property on 332 owned by the Deacon East Development Corp. That was the original water park place. That is. True barracks, that whole wide open area there, between there and the church. All of a sudden, Deacon East has an offer on that property. We don't know for what. So I just advise. Not a water park. It's not a water park, so it's gonna have to be rezoned. But I advise the developer, hey, look, if this big piece goes. For commercial / housing, we don't know why, but you might want to keep. Your piece on 96 all commercial and light industrial, because that's a big piece of property there. So he decided not to make any changes with the plans that we had seen and the staff had seen. Any comments from staff? On the word? All right, we'll reach back to them and tell them we'll bring it up again at the May 9th meeting. Probably will. We do May 9th, we do a resolution then for the public hearing, it's gotta be the following meeting, right? Okay. Give us time to look at the environment also. All right, if no questions on that. And before we go to executive session, is there any other public concerns? Anybody online, public concerns? Hearing none, need a motion to go into executive session? So. Mike and Nate. There will be no decision at this. Executive session.
Thank you, sir.
And Sarah, what we do normally, Michelle, is